Obamacare. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Stupid people are ruining America.
The president just wants to take care of you. He just doesn't think you're able to do it for yourself.
There's a very thin line between communism, progressivism, Marxism, socialism.
The empire will strike back.
You still don't know that this was political.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? My name is Dustin Hoyt. I am your host here on America Our Way. I hope you've had a great week. It has been an interesting one politically. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff we want to talk about tonight. At the top of my list, as we start getting situated here, is Governor Rick Perry, who has left his office ceremonially, if you will. He's done. He's on his way out. Now, Governor Greg Abbott has not officially stepped in yet, sworn the oath and everything, but Rick Perry did give his final speech today, and there was much ado about it here in the Lone Star State. And while many of you don't live in the Lone Star State, I'm sorry, can't all be perfect, but the fact of the matter is, Governor Perry, one of the longest standing governors in the United States, and he is one of the potential 2012 contenders. So it's not something that you can just look away from when he's stepping down and giving a big speech that could possibly lead up to a presidential run. So he did say at the end there, I'll leave you with this: be true to Texas, and be true to Texas always, and she will be true to you. Good luck, Godspeed, God bless you, and through you may God continue to bless the great state of Texas. What was interesting about his speech is that the governor of the reddest state in the union, I would argue, decided to moderate himself. He decided that he could not use that red to get him in the White House. He told a joint session today in the State House in Austin that compromise is not a dirty word if it moves Texas forward. Now, what's interesting about Texas is that it does not need to compromise to move anywhere. It has a firm grip from the Republican Party. It is firmly in hand for the GOP. They're not going anywhere. And, Democrats can say what they want. They can form all the organizations they want. Texas is not shifting. Not their direction anyway. And so in terms of compromise, they're doing all right. They don't have to worry about that. But it's interesting because with Governor Perry, you've got him coming out and rolling out this new and improved Perry from 2012. And he's been doing it for a while. It's nothing new. Spent millions of dollars of taxpayer money doing it at the border, sending the National Guard troops there. And he's got his glasses now, which are supposed to make him appear smarter. And that's obviously to try and combat his gaffes from the election cycle. It is what it is. Now, he's been positioning himself for a while, so I don't really think that anybody has got... I don't think anybody has got any doubts about that now. I think we all know he's going to throw his hat in, and he is a pretty good contender in terms of his governing record. I have a problem with him spending $12 million a month of Texas taxpayer dollars, but it is what it is. And he spent that much on the border security when he sent the National Guard down there during the influx of Central American children. And I think that was, again, trying to moderate while also keeping his firm hold on the red voters here in the state of Texas. And obviously taking advantage of the opportunity to swing the red votes while maintaining his moderate posture. If you do it in the name of an emergency, it's not the same as doing it when there's no emergency, right? Interesting. I personally, if we want to get into Rick Perry's presidential aspirations, I do not think he has a shot. I've only ever heard two things about Perry: his governing record and women find him attractive. That's it. That's really all I hear. A lot of people do like Governor Perry, and I like him as a person, and he could have been a much more terrible, much worse governor than he was. And he wouldn't be a god-awful president, but quite frankly, he is a shoot-from-the-hip, jump-the-gun kind of guy. He would govern like a cowboy, and that's not what we need. Not with Russia, not with China, not with the Middle East. We've seen how well the cowboy aggression has worked in the past. But I think more importantly, Governor Perry's economic prowess that people seem to tout about, that everybody thinks he's so great at the economy, just look at Texas, he's really not. When you look at what boosted the Texas economy, you have a boom in the oil industry here in the United States, which always has massive benefits for Texas. You can't get away from that. And these other businesses that he, quote-unquote, lured in from other states, they came at a price that was paid by taxpayers, a price that I quite frankly don't think was worth paying. Millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars of taxpayer money, your money, my money, was spent trying to lure businesses in here through tax incentives to try and get them from these bad business states like California and New York. And it's just unfortunate that we now live in a country that looks highly upon someone stealing money from you and giving it to someone really wealthy in the name of getting you more money. Because that is some logical gymnastics going on there that is not working out. It don't bend that way, let's put it that way, if we want to speak simply. Another thing that was interesting, Greg Abbott, the new governor of Texas, he came out and spoke with a reporter today, one of the reporters out of Austin. A guy named Mark Wiggins does a really good job out there. He's kind of been preparing to take the reins, and Wiggins asked him some pointed questions, and I find that very, very interesting, because you have a couple of things that he kind of said that are getting put on the back burner. Again, it comes back to the economy. The reason why the Texas economy is doing so well, large part of it, is, again, the oil industry. And the reason the oil industry was doing so well is because of the massive price tags that we were all paying at the pump. I mean, we were paying almost $4 a gallon, even in Texas where we produce the dadgum thing. And just there was not enough supply. And so the Saudis have decided to flood the market with oil. they ripped the spigot out of the wall, and now they've cut the price in half. And because they've cut the price in half, the oil companies here in the States are like, oh, hey, this shale oil stuff, that's not so much working out for us anymore. They're flat out canceling leases and pulling back on that. So this Texas economy, it is going to take a hit. It's going to be nothing like the 80s, but it's going to take a hit. And because it's going to take a hit, Governor Abbott is looking at less money in the bank. It's not going to be as bad because the gas tax stuff here in Texas was capped at like levels in like 86 or something, which most of you don't care about, and that's fine. But the point is that Abbott's about to get blamed for economic stuff that is absolutely not his fault. He did not have anything to do with the bad economy in this sense. Now, what he is going to catch crap for, which is unfortunate, is he was talking about states not tying the hands of schools, and this is again from the Wiggins interview. He said, I'll just read it for you. Yeah, I've got it in front of me. He opposed bans on things like plastic bags and fracking after saying the state shouldn't tie the hands of local school districts during the campaign. The reporter asked him, does that not conflict with the idea of Austin tying the hands of local communities that want to set their own regulations? And it's a fair question if you don't understand freedom. And that's kind of the boat this guy found himself in. And Abbott responded saying that does not conflict with the idea of Austin tying the hands of local communities. He says, remember this, and this is the way the Constitution is set up, and that is that it's the state's responsibility to make sure that we protect the freedoms of the people who live here in Texas. What we're trying to do in the education system is to empower those at the local level to have the freedom to get away from these one-size-fit-all cookie-cutter approach to educating our kids. At the same time, we want to make sure that we protect the freedoms of the individuals who live in cities from being overburdened from all these heavy-handed regulations that we've seen imposed by states like California that destroy economic empowerment. This is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. For one, it's absolutely correct to stop government from trying to regulate something. I'm all on board for that. I know most of you are. What's that? You have to charge people for plastic bags now because environmentalists say X, Y, or Z? That's not right. A business should be able to make these decisions based on what their customers want. The free market can solve this. If people actually don't want plastic bags, they can bring disposable or reusable bags. It's not something that needs to be touted. It's not something that has to be forced. People will do it. I know plenty of people that use reusable bags because they're concerned about the economy. Or about the environment. But you know what? I don't know anybody who appreciates being forced to do it.